Okay, hi, I'm back again in my little corner. And today, I will be talking about safety and crime in Europe versus in South Africa, or specifically in the Netherlands and Germany versus South Africa, because I'm not saying all of Europe is safe. I've been to Brussels in Belgium, and that just feels like I'm in a bougier sort of part of Johannesburg. Like Brussels is like the ghetto of Europe. So and it's so weird because it's where the European Commission is based. And it's just, yeah, like you get there and it's like, oh my God, I feel like I'm back home. Um, like the homeless problem it's a big issue in Brussels. Um, you see more homeless people than you do in cities in the Netherlands and in cities in Germany. It's just more rampant in Brussels. You have more dodgy looking areas in Brussels, and I think it's because they are like the city is constantly under construction. Every time I've gone there, it's like there's always construction going on, and it's not as I don't know how to put it. I don't know how to put it. It's just not as safe, so to speak, as the Netherlands and Germany are, which is why I'm glad I lived in the Netherlands and now live in Germany. Yeah, so living in Rotterdam, super, super safe. And before Rotterdam, I lived in Hillegom, which is near Amsterdam. It's like one of the suburbs that are really close to Amsterdam, and that also really safe. And being someone who now does comedy and gigs are in the evenings, so you have to like walk home at night, and like the buses at where I lived in Rotterdam ended at 20 past 12, and sometimes you're coming from a gig like 2 hours away, so by the time you get there like the buses are done, and it's like a 20-minute walk from the bus, from the train, from where the train drops me off to my house. So I have to do the 20 minutes, and sometimes Eric is out of town, so I have to do it by myself. And I feel so safe. Like there's never been a moment where I was like, I'm feeling unsafe walking home alone at 1, 2 in the morning for 20 minutes to my house. Like there was never that feeling of unease, like not once, not once. And it's so weird because when we left South Africa, in 2022, 2021, Eric and I were victims of so much crime. So he was mugged at knife point. He was mugged at knife point. And then at some point also they took his wallet out of his car door while he was at a petrol station. Our house in Kimberley was broken into while I was in the house naked in bed. Like, yeah, because in feels weird. It feels weird saying that. Like I was naked in bed. I don't like being dressed when I'm home. Okay, so that's just my thing. So it was, and for a while, every time I heard like a door close or I heard someone walking outside, it was just like this constant paranoia that was going on. And Eric was also so uneasy. He's someone who likes to go for walks. And for a while after that, like he couldn't go for walks because he was out on a walk and he got mugged near his home. So yeah, and these are not stories or things that you hear going on in the Netherlands or in Germany. In fact, Munich is one of the safest cities in the world, and so is Rotterdam. So we lived in a place where we felt safe, we felt secure. Like I don't know how to describe it. And I haven't been catcalled since I moved here. I've been here for like almost 2 full years now. No catcalling, no creepy dudes in the street like trying to hit on you. And I have, like, it happens, but like the people here take no for an answer and move on with their lives. And it's not like this like being called a B word or a C word because you're rejecting somebody and you walk past a construction site. Even in Brussels, you walk past a construction site, and even if it's not happening to me, you can see it when it happens to other people, and you don't see that happening. That's not something that that you're really exposed to. And I've actually spoken to people at work, because I did work with like young people, and it's not a thing that happens. So I thought, yeah, it's not happening to me. Obviously, I'm not attracted to everybody. No, no, but yeah, I did it sort of as a survey because I was trying to find out just what kind of environment I'm living in. And yeah, like this catcalling nonsense, that's not a thing that happens here. Like nobody's trying to like ask you out and then call you a B word, or you know, ask for your number. And like this is just from people that I've been speaking. So from not just my personal experience, it's just that I wanted to explore what kind of place I was living in. So this is also from other people. I'm not just saying, you know, yeah, you know, I think I'm all that or whatever. Yeah, so it's very nice. It feels so safe. There are no burglar bars anywhere. We have glass doors everywhere in this house. Like in our house in Rotterdam, our whole front wall was just glass, and we were comfortable with that. And we don't really like lock the gate. We don't, because it's safe. Like here in this village, there's virtually no crime. Like, so it's really nice to be able to live in a place where you're not worried about being mugged. You can walk around with your phone in your hand in the middle of town, not worried that somebody's going to snatch it out of your hand. And that safety and that security is just so amazing. It's so amazing to have that and to know that, you know, you're safe. Like the Netherlands is so safe. Last year they closed the jail because there weren't enough convicted people, there weren't enough criminals to go into the jail. So one of the biggest jails in the Netherlands got closed, and they moved them to like smaller jails because it just they aren't enough people to fill up the prison. Which, yeah, it's a prison, not a jail. Okay, yeah, jail is you haven't been sentenced yet as far as I'm aware, but yeah, so it was a prison that got closed in the Netherlands because the crime is so low. And like the biggest crime in the Netherlands is bicycle theft. And that's just because everybody has a bicycle. They encourage you to use bicycles. Instead of using cars, you are encouraged to use bicycles, to use public transport. Cycling is just, it's like the norm in the Netherlands. People get around on bicycles. There are bicycle parkings everywhere. Okay, like everywhere you go, you're able to park your bicycle. And there are more bicycles than people in the Netherlands. And that is a true statistic. Tongue twister. That is a true statistic. You can look it up. There are literally more bicycles than people in the Netherlands. So the crime that you will be faced with, like living in the Netherlands, is having your bike stolen or, you know, bike accessories stolen. But like crime isn't really a thing. Like getting mugged, not really a thing. Maybe around Amsterdam Central Station, there'll be like pickpockets or whatever. Every now and then, and there's always like flashing signs and announcements when there has been an incident or two of pickpocketing, and that's because it's such a high tourist area. So, you know, there will be people that are taking chances. But as soon as you get on a train to Brussels, they make announcements. You never hear that on a train in Germany or on a train in the Netherlands. But when I go on trains to Brussels, they'll be like, to keep an eye on your stuff, because pickpocketing. So I'm not a huge fan of Brussels, if you can't tell. I'm not a big fan of Brussels. There's nothing wrong with it. But also they speak French. It's like when I first went there, I fell asleep, okay? So the train you take to Brussels, there's either a direct train to Brussels or a train that goes to France, that goes to Paris from Rotterdam. So I took the one to Paris and I fell asleep, okay? And when I got off, and this was my first time there, and when I got off, I thought I was in Paris because everyone was speaking French, and I thought, holy because, and everything is like written in French. They write in French and in English, and in Dutch, but I'd never been there, and I thought, okay, yeah, this is where it says I need to get off. But now, when I get off, so I was worried that I got off at the wrong station because it just seemed so extremely French that I was afraid that I got off in Paris. Like I was disorientated and I was afraid that I got off in Paris, but whatever. So yeah, Europe generally super safe. Love it here. Never have to worry about my safety or my stuff getting stolen, and I love it. I love that sense of security. So that's one of the things I would recommend if you wanted to move to Europe.